On Sunday, one of the participants, I was sharing with the participant that the new participant Ling, yeah, I was sharing with her about how the questions are good, valid, but to really benefit from the teachings, we should be asking questions about how we can use the teachings to help us, be aware of our current state, the defilements, and how to work on them. Yeah, questions pertaining to what they call it? Questions pertaining to like how did this teaching come about, and so on and so forth. These are interesting questions, and perhaps at a certain point in time need to be explored. Yeah, but most importantly, we should be looking at how to apply the teachings first. Yeah. And I've given the example before about how it's like if you are sick, then maybe the more important thing is to take the medicine first. Yeah. If you want to learn you like to go from one place to another, and you like to drive a car, the first thing is to learn how to drive the car first. We don't have to know how the car was made, how the car works, right? As long as the car is working, that's what's important. So then I told Li Ying to write down 3 things that upset you. Yeah, this is an exercise that I've been giving to students to try out for years. It is basically to give ourselves about directing our learning of the Dharma towards what is pertinent, yeah, towards what is affecting us, yeah. So, so she wrote down the first 2 things I thought maybe I should highlight, which is very general, yeah. Not getting what she wants, she get upset. Getting what she don't want, she get upset. Yeah. So this is what I would think of as a model answer. I don't think she was trying to give model answer, but maybe that's how she really feel about it. Yeah. But to me, it's maybe a bit too general, because there are 101 things that you may not want. Yeah, there are 101 things that maybe you want, but you don't get, right? And this is basically the number 7 of the first noble truth, right, of suffering. So for the exercise, I think better to zoom in a bit more. Yeah, be a bit more specific as to what. Give one example of what you want that you don't get and you get. Then you suffer. Yeah, and one example of what you don't want and then you get. Yeah. Yeah, so that you can be more directed and specific. Okay. Yeah, so this part is more specifically for Li, because she asked in the email what to do after that. Yeah, what to do next. So what to do next, be more specific. Then we can look at what to do next. So the question, Mr. Right. Oh, Mr. Right. The other day was Mr. Curious, now it's Mr. Right. Usually when we say Mr. Right and Miss Right, it refers to our pursuit of a spouse, you know, of a partner. This is my Mr. Right, this is my Miss Right. What are the differences between faith and blind faith? What are advantages and disadvantages, if any, of having faith in Buddhism? That's an interesting question. Well, to begin with, sometimes as we learn Dharma, especially for those who enter into Buddhism because of the teachings, yeah, there's a chance that sometimes we rejected other faith, yeah, because we think that, oh, faith seem to be quite irrational. Yeah, I'm saying that some people think yeah, that faith and belief seem quite irrational, seems quite groundless. Then when we come in touch with Buddhism, we encounter the teachings, then it seems so logical, so rational, so systematic, and so on. And then we may draw the wrong conclusion that faith is not required in Buddhism. Yeah. So first thing is, faith is required in Buddhism. Yeah. The difference is we usually say in Buddhism you shouldn't have blind faith. Yeah. You shouldn't have blind faith. Now, blind faith, of course, is quite a derogative term. Yeah, quite a down-putting term. But what does it really mean? Simply put, blind faith usually refers to faith that doesn't seek verification. Yeah, that doesn't in any way is grounded in anything, but simply because you choose to believe. Yeah, so even if the only basis for the faith is faith, yeah, that the faith is an end in and by itself, yeah, or that you have unquestioning faith, then we say maybe you can say that's blind faith, yeah. In Buddhism, faith starts off as a form of initial impetus, yeah, that based on certain qualities of either the person saying it or the teachings of what is being said itself, that okay, seem to be quite okay. Yeah, you need to have that initial part, or the initial part. But in Buddhism, the faith doesn't stop there, because there is the verification of what you have faith in. Yeah, that part is very crucial. What it also means is that in Buddhism, you need to question, you need to investigate. There's a difference between questioning and investigating, and also the direction of questioning. Okay. When we say we have doubts, we have questions, sometimes in traditional Buddhism, this is frowned upon. Yeah, this is frowned upon. Have you all heard of people like dismissing your questions or doubts? Yeah, saying, oh, how can you have doubts in the Buddha? Yeah, have you all heard of people having such comments? Yeah, but in Buddhism, actually, having doubts is quite a normal thing. Yeah, because as long as you have not reached the first stage of stream enterer, sotapanna, you're bound to have doubts. Why would they have doubts? It is because what the Buddha has discovered is not apparent to us. If it's apparent to us, we'll be enlightened. Yeah, but because we're not enlightened, so it doesn't seem to be directly apparent. But at least maybe some part has to be apparent. Yeah, or at least what has been explained has to have some sense. And that's where the grounding of faith starts. Yeah, or perhaps based on the person's behavior, the person's perhaps even reputation, that you hear, this particular teacher, yeah, whether it's the Buddha or this particular master, hey, what he says seems to make sense. You haven't heard anything yet. First time you heard, then you, hey, okay, let's try it out. Yeah, like I'm sure there must be a first time you encounter Buddhism, right? Correct or not? Yeah, it's not like you wake up in the morning, then suddenly, oh, I'm a Buddhist. Yeah, even if you are born into a Buddhist family and then that's simply your adopted faith since young, there may be a point where you wonder, is this actually the correct thing? Yeah, but there must be enough confidence to say, yeah, maybe I can try it out. Yeah, try it out as in just listen first. That initial faith is required for that initial listening. Yeah, otherwise you wouldn't even begin to want to listen, right? So faith in Buddhism starts off that way. But after listening, we are required to start to contemplate on it. But you must first listen. Okay, listen, remember, and then contemplate on it, whether it makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense to you, then your doubt will increase, right? But it's okay. In Buddhism, it's okay. The question is what you do with that doubt. Do you seek clarification? Ask pertinent question. Yeah, as I mentioned, how to apply the teachings. If you apply and it doesn't work, why doesn't it work? Yeah. Then you may seek clarification from your peers. You may seek clarification from a teacher, and the teacher may guide you to say, okay, this is how you apply, this is why it's like this or that. But ultimately, the teacher nor your peers cannot just tell you, no, just accept, cannot. Yeah, especially when it comes to the teachings and the practices part. Yeah, there are certain parts in the teachings that require us to have faith initially, especially pertaining to, let's say, 6 realms, for example. Yeah? We can only see 2 realms so far for most of us, right? Human realm and animal realm. Yeah, fortunately, yeah. But actually, I tell you, if all of us can see the ghost realm, then no problem also. You know, if all of us can see all the 6 realms, no problem also. In fact, if all of us can see the 6 realms, then we would be very quickly liberated also. Because you can see clearly, oh, really all these things happening. Yeah. But initially we can't see. So we just take it on faith. Yeah. Then as we practice, as we learn, then we start to verify more and more of the teachings. And each portion that we verify, yeah, either in fact, yeah, in actual situation, or in principle, our faith increased that much. And to the point where we verify that the notion that there is a self is really just a view, and that this view doesn't correlate with reality. That our idea that there's a self, yeah, that is permanent, unchanging, and is autonomous, it has absolute self-control, yeah, that is independent. Yeah, that notion of a self actually is just a nice idea. It doesn't correlate with anything whatsoever in reality. To the extent that we verify this, then to the extent doubt is removed, faith is established. To the point where you are completely clear that this is a fact, then faith becomes unshakable. Faith becomes purified. Yeah. Then in some, for some teachers, then they use a slightly different term. They say confirmed faith, yeah, or verified confidence. Yeah. So that means it's not just faith without any verification, but it's still called faith. Yeah, the Pali term is Saddha, sing. Yeah. So I would say in Buddhism, the way we look at it, between faith and blind faith, we will make that distinction. That faith comes with questions, comes with verification. Okay. Any thoughts or questions about this topic? This question about faith? Or do I have faith in what I said? Very good. The group is silent on it. I shall ask you one more time. Any question? For a third time, I ask you, is there any question? So since none of you have any questions, then you have faith in what has been said. Very good. But please go and verify it. 阿弥陀佛。愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿得智慧真明了，
愿得智慧真明了。
普愿罪障悉消除，
普愿罪障悉消除，
世世常行菩萨道。
世世常行菩萨道。
阿弥陀佛。
阿弥陀佛。
Till we meet again. may be guided and protected by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And as always,
Likewise.
have a faithful day ahead. Take care, stay safe.
Thank you, sư phụ.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sư phụ.
Thank you, sư phụ.
Thank you, sư phụ.
Everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye.